Oscar-winning movie Forrest Gump has got a remake, and it's not just any old remake. The Tom Hanks classic has been taken on by Bollywood. Well, to tell us more about it, I'm joined on set by David Murikand from our culture department. David, I'm really intrigued about this. I know you've watched it. Tell me about it.
Well, it's called Lal Singh Chaddha, and it's, as you say, an Indian spin on the 1994 classic Forrest Gump. And it stars one of India's most recognisable stars, but also one of their most bankable stars, Amir Khan. And it's released today in several territories, including the UK, France, Germany, and of course India. And it's one of those films that kind of comes at the right time, chiefly because India is about to celebrate its 75th independence, but also because it's a film that almost restores your faith in remakes, especially in a week where Hollywood has announced that they're ploughing ahead with their remake of the 1973 classic The Exorcist. They're even planning on making it a trilogy, much like they did with the Halloween franchise. So while there are always these kind of uninspired rehashes, this Bollywood adaptation is something of an exception to the rule in many ways, and it's not the first time that Bollywood has adapted Hollywood films or even European films, but it is certainly the first time that they're taking on such an iconic film, especially one with such baggage, because, well, it won 6 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Actor for Tom Hanks.
And we're all talking about it, right, as well. I mean, everybody's intrigued by this, and that has got to be good as well, I'd imagine, for the Bollywood film industry.
Absolutely, and it's an important film for Bollywood because after a string of quite weak box office showings, they're really banking on this film being one of the biggest films of 2022. And the film industry in India is still recovering from COVID-19 lockdown losses, and many are actually predicting that this will be the biggest film of the year for them. As for the film itself, I mean, it keeps a lot from the original, but much like the titular character Forrest Gump stumbled through major US milestones, here the audience gets to see things from an Indian perspective. So whether it's major cultural milestones or historic ones like India winning the World Cup in cricket or the conflict in Pakistan, for instance. So in many ways it's a love letter to the country, and like a good cover song, for example, it recontextualizes something familiar and makes something fresh out of it. Now, there is a slight bum note, sadly, is that there's been already a little bit of backlash towards the film, not from film fans who are disgruntled about remakes, but some right-wing Indian critics have called to boycott the film, chiefly because its leading star, Amir Khan, made some comments in 2015 stating that India was not the most tolerant of countries. And yes, so unfortunately there is that looming, but with any luck, it will be a success and will prop up the Bollywood film industry.